All right, at this time, we'll call to order the City of Kenai Planning and Zoning Commission meeting for April 14th, 2021. Will you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation,
to the republic
under God,
for which it stands,
indivisible,
one nation,
liberty and
under
justice
God,
for all.
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item A2, roll call, please.
Chair Twait,
Here.
Commissioner Springer is absent. Commissioner Halstead,
Here.
Commissioner Dothett,
Here.
and Vice Chair Fikes is absent. Commissioner Greenberg,
Here?
present, and Commissioner Woodard.
Here.
You have a quorum.
All right, item A3, agenda approval. Wishes of the commission. Commissioner Halstead,
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
do I have a second? Any objection?
I'll second.
Oh, late second. Seeing none, the agenda is approved. Item A3 or A4, consent agenda. Commissioner Halstead,
I move we approve the consent agenda as presented.
do I have a second?
I'll second.
I'll second.
Any objection? Seeing none, the consent agenda is approved. Takes us down to item C, scheduled public comment. We have none. Item D, unscheduled public comment. Anyone wishing to speak to an item not on the agenda? Nobody out there on the internet? All right, we'll move on to item E, consideration of plats. We have one. E1 is Resolution PZ 2021-06, preliminary subdivision plat of TKC subdivision submitted by Segasur Surveys on behalf of TKC LLC. Staff report. Or do we want to do a staff report?
Thank you, Chair Twait, fellow commissioners. I don't need to provide a staff report, but I'm certainly happy to answer any questions regarding the recommendation for postponing the consideration of this plat.
Okay, well, I will get a motion on the floor. Commissioner Dothett,
I'll motion to approve Resolution PZ 20221-06 and looking for a postponement on that.
we're going to get a second on the original motion first.
I'll second.
All right, and now,
And then I'll move to postpone Resolution PZ 2021-06 until the utility line designation has been affirmed or confirmed.
do we have a second?
I'll second that.
All right, now, if anyone has any questions for Mr. Foster, he can explain that further if we need it. If we don't, we'll just vote on postponement.
I just have they said when they might be presenting anything new on this?
Chair Twait, Commissioner Dothett, and so this subdivision's related to the parcel 1614 Second Avenue that the commission approved a conditional use permit in January, and so the moving part is that there is a layout of the utility lines that need to be considered for the subdivision, and so this came to my attention, and what's been submitted is actually the drawing wouldn't work for a subdivision. And so that's why, when I got the information on Monday, we met with the applicant and discussed with them and requested they provide a letter of intent on which direction they would like to go with. To date, I haven't received that letter yet. But I do know that before the posting of the agenda and publishing of the staff report, that Public Works Director had discussed the design for the subdivision. And so the difference being that if this was to move forward with a design that's only for a 2.5 acre conditional use permit, that's essentially one design that can fit that configuration. But once you start subdividing, the requirements are that, the utilities need to be coming to each parcel from each one of the rights of way on Second Avenue and McKinley. So, so essentially, we're still, it's up in the air at this point when we'll get that confirmation, but it's really the applicant needs to confirm if they want one design goes with a subdivision, and there's one design that would not allow a subdivision to meet the city's code. Sorry, that was a very long-winded explanation, but
no.
Yeah, I don't know. Up in the air.
So I was curious, if they go with this route, is the conditional use permit still necessary?
Chair Choi, I mean, that's a really good question. No. So if it was to be subdivided in that case, the subdivision of the proposed, plat as it is today, would not have required a conditional use permit.
Okay. All right, well, we have a motion and a second, and we've had a little discussion. We can vote on postponing now.
Commissioner Halsted,
Yes.
Commissioner Dothett,
Yes.
Commissioner Greenberg,
Yes.
Commissioner Woodard,
Yes.
and Chair Twait.
Yes.
Motion passes.
All right, item F, public hearings. G, unfinished business. H, new business. And I, pending items. We have none. Takes us to item J, reports. J1, City Council. Councilman Glendenning.
Thank you, Chairman Twait. Before I give my report, I have a show and tell from the council meeting, but it's the concept plan for the dog park. Okay, I will mention it in the report, but I'll show this here. I just have a couple copies if anybody's interested. And then also, there's a presentation that was made regarding affordable housing. And this is on Redoubt Avenue, and it'll be in the same area or next to where existing facilities are. And here's a proposal here also, if you want to look at it and get preloaded. So anyway, getting back to the council meeting from April 7th. Stephen Rouse did report on senior and affordable rental housing in the city of Kenai on donated land, and they have had large success with their program so far. They're 18 units in Kenai, 50 in Homer, 58 in Soldotna, with more planned. They are really excited about carrying forward with an expansion of this concept. It seems like they have a large waiting list for the projects that they have, and any more that they do will be filled, and it will give low cost and affordable housing to our citizens, and it's always been that. When I showed up in the late 60s, it was tough to find a house, so I applaud a situation like this. Pat Porter gave a dog park update. She'll be up here in July also, but it's quite a comprehensive plan that will invite the citizens, dog owners of this town and of the area to come in with their animals. Alaska people and Kenai people love their dogs, and we have a good program started there. There's just a few things like maybe getting the materials for the fence up and finish clearing the land, and I think they're looking maybe at another chunk of land to expand it a little bit. But Pat Porter is writing the grant. She was spearheading that when she was mayor up here, and even though she's in Texas, her heart is still here in Kenai with us. Coy West did a presentation on the city of Kenai marketing, and the theme is the best place to Alaska, and he showed conceptual drawings and ideas of how to further promote our city. One area that he's going to start concentrating on is Old Town. We're fairly well, how could we say, fairly well confirmed in our idea that the bluff erosion project will go. We're in the process of selecting the design engineers, and we're further along than we ever have been with this. And once we know the timeline and scope of the job, we'll be able to really encourage development and investment in our old town, and speak with authority on this is what it will look like. We had a public hearing. We accepted and appropriated federal funds for the library. This was a pass-through dollars for library employee training. We amended the Kenai Code section, employee classification, to this extent is that we are going to now have on our roster a capital projects manager. This will be necessarily one because of the bluff erosion project, but if you really look at the capital projects that we have around us, we need a manager for these projects. The construction season is very short, very compressed with attention to detail, and Public Works Manager is doing a good job, but he has all these other things to run. And we all agree that we will be more efficient by having a contracts manager and a capital project manager. That position will be combined. We conditionally waive certain provisions of sewer and water customers who are late, and we talked about this last meeting, and there's maybe 29 of them, less now, and the total dollar amount is around $20,000. So it's doable, it's workable. More money is coming to the city from the feds, and as summer picks up, employment generally picks up, but nobody's going to be put on the street. It'll be worked out very elegantly. We have a grant passed through the state of Alaska for senior center expenditures in support of its response for the public health emergency, and that's again some money that's coming to our senior center. They have done just a magnificent job in taking care of the citizens of this town, and also through our Meals on Wheels, taking food out to the rural areas that we are responsible for through a previous borough action. And so this is just to help our overhead, help the expenses that have been identified. We appropriated funds for the airport snow removal equipment. The snow blower that we have isn't going to make it. It's 83, and it's old and tired like I am. So FAA is going to spring for all of it, and so we'll be back in the game here soon. We had a ordinance that passed unanimously, and what it amounts to is that there were small businesses that we provided a funding mechanism for assistance in their operations. Some thought they would make it, some didn't apply, and so we opened the window again with funds we had available. And what we found is it filled up and overflowed just a little bit, so we appropriated an extra $38,000 just to make everybody whole and have the expectations confirmed. We changed our policy for selecting and appointing a person for vacancies on the city council. The last time we had that situation, we had, 8 or 9 folks, and the program that we had was a little bundlesome. So we streamlined a little bit. It'll be quicker. It'll be fair. There'll be less discussion, and we all voted for it. So I hope the applicants like it too. And we authorized the budget transfer in the airport fund for a contract for sand screening. We have some sand that's on hand. It just needs to be reprocessed. Of course, it has to make FAA spec, and I think the dollar amount was $58,000 or something, and one of the Peterkin, I think it was Triangle Recycling, it was the successful bidder. We had several bidders. What we did is we approved an administration permit process for commercial removal of dead or dying trees from city property. If you look around, you can just see they're really, really on the fast physical fade. And for a while, we said, well, okay, if it's on your property, city property, you can come, firewood and whatever. Now we're saying, oh my goodness, just come get it. You have to clear the slash up. It has to be workmanlike procedures. But we just need to get this deadwood out of here. Maybe we can collaborate with the borough. I don't know, but we have the means and methods to carry on ourselves. We approved unanimously a special use permit to the Kenai Home Builders Association for use in the multi-purpose facility. We're pretty straight up with our rules and regulations regarding social distancing, masks, what the expectations are. People can plan an event, put money down, promote it with the assurance and the assurity that the facility will be available for them. So it'll be a little smaller because our hockey rink is less than Soldotna's, but the Home Builders Association will happen this year. And then finally, we appointed Janet Phillips to the Beautification Committee. She is relatively new to our community, but has a world of experience in these matters, and has served in other communities in a similar capacity as a committee member or a commissioner for Parks and Rec and Beautification. And our next meeting is week from tonight, and those are my report.
Anyone have any questions?
Did the sports show ever contact you guys about possibly using that same facility?
I don't know about. I know. Are you with the builders?
I am.
Yeah. Could you speak on background? I don't know about what you're talking about, but.
I don't know exactly. Well, so we had a meeting on Monday night to try to plan on how to go forward. It's obviously it's a little bit smaller, but we're going to have a lot less vendors as well. And so I think our plan is to try and maybe combine it in more of not a traditional home show, and maybe see if there's some of the sports show people that want to get in there with it and be kind of a collaborative deal. Some of the farmers market people, I think, even just to try to get something out there for the public to take on, but it's going to be free. And I think we're going to try to use a little bit of the outside space too, depending on how it's set up. People that have tents that can set it up, and
I think that's a good idea. I can
We
email
know
the Kelly with the
what's
sports show
going
we got.
on. What's going on with all this? It's kind of a moving target, and Soldotna's locked into automatic benchmarks, and we discuss things and vote on it here. Just a little
yeah,
different,
and I know from
little difference in approach. But if there's, I can't speak because I don't about it really because I don't know what the calendar is over there. But if anybody wants to use City of Kenai or for an event, just call Manager Ostrander, and he'll be glad to visit with you.
Yeah, and I know from the builder standpoint, if it works out and we get back to some kind of semblance of normal for next year, if we can work out some of the power things, I think that was the biggest thing. Is some of them require some pretty good power requirements and things like that, the hot tub people and stuff like that. So maybe they'll have empty hot tubs to look at instead of. Yeah. So anyway, I think it's a good opportunity, and Soldotna really has been pretty inflexible as far as
Yeah, I'll
working
reach
with
out
anything.
to Kelly with the sports show and
Yeah.
mention it to her, see if she's
For
talked
sure.
to you guys.
All right, anything else? All right, we will move on to item J2, which I guess we will move right past since we do not have Vice Chair Fikes here. We'll go to J3, City Administration. Mr. Foster.
Now it's on. Thank you. Thank you, Chair Chway and fellow commissioners. For the next meeting, April 28th, we have quite a number of cases currently. We have 2 conditional use permits and 1 plat. And then if this evening's postponed plat comes back with that letter of intent, then possibly this could be added to as well. So I just want to give everybody a heads up that it could be a little bit longer than average meeting, just based on the cases we have coming forward. And then just wanted to share, I still have the training that we'd like to do on my radar. I just think with the 28th being a pretty busy night, we might look to see if we can do that at the following meeting, but just wanted to have a little reminder, still looking to do that. And that's it. That's everything I have.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you much. We will move on to item K, additional public comments. Don't see any out there, so we'll move on. L, informational items, we have none. We just talked about the next meeting, so commissioners' comments and questions. Commissioner Greenberg, you're not in Costa Rica again, are you?
No, I'm in Kenai, in my office here. Bummer, but yeah, I just wanted to mention that in reference to the beetle issue, the coordinator for I used to work for that program, and the coordinator for that program, Spruce Bark Beetle Mitigation Program, back in like the early 2000s, he was recently on the radio show with Dwayne Bannock, and he was talking about that issue as well. I know there's a lot of interest in that now, and I know he would be available probably to talk if the city had interest in learning about what that program was.
Very good. Anything else?
No, that's it. Thank you.
All right, Commissioner Halstead.
No comments here?
All right, Commissioner Woodard.
I'm good.
All right. Commissioner
here.
Dothett. All
Nope.
good?
All good.
All right. I have nothing further to add as well, so we will call the meeting adjourned.